Friday, we are here fresh off a couple of press conferences from Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel, and of course, two terrific trades yesterday by the Miami Dolphins, acquiring Chubb and
Am I
Mr.
cloudy?
Wilson. Yeah, you are. That's the light behind you. You've got to turn it
I
down.
close it out. I close it out. It's just not. It's really weird. I'm sorry.
You smoking a big blunt in there or something? Is there still like some smoke in there? What's
Yeah,
going
I
on?
think something's wrong with my computer camera, and now this is convincing me to go. I got that Apple Care. Damn it! I'm gonna use it. They pimped me for the Apple Care.
Are you sure Wiz Khalifa is not your smoke machine inside that room?
Why are you so clear? And I'm not. You're not using a computer.
I'm not smoking. I don't have any weed in my studio. That's why.
Bro,
That's the difference. I don't have Wiz Khalifa just blowing smoke in my studio. You do. You've got Wiz and Snoop on the other end, and let me add and Spicoli for the older people, because I've got I need the stoner of the 80s, the stoner of the 90s, and then the stoner of the 2000s. I got
you didn't even use Method Man and Redneck.
When you do a talk show for 33 years now, your references get old. Yeah. And you have to refresh those references.
Has it been 33 years
on every stage?
Has it been 33 years, bro?
Yeah, bro. I'm completing my 33rd year.
I remember when I was an intern with the Sun Sentinel in 1997, I met you. Jesus Lord.
We're getting old. That's 25 years alone right there.
We are getting old, brother.
I know. And for 25 years, we haven't felt like the Dolphins. I was talking about this before you came on. This might be the best GM you've had since earlier Shula days.
Oh, man. Let's not do that. This
might be the best quarterback you've had since Marino.
No, that Shula was not a good GM. Don't do that. And you know why Shula was not a good GM? Because
you didn't listen to me.
Okay.
The deep days of Shula, not your era of Shula. I'm talking about when he had George Young and he had Bobby Beathard.
Oh, I wasn't alive.
Good. I know, dude. I'm old, bro. I get it. George Young went on to build those Giants teams that Parcells won the 2 titles with. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
In 97, in 87, 91, George Young built those teams, not Parcells. That guy worked with Shula. Bobby Beathard then elevated San Diego. They didn't win a championship, but obviously they picked a whole shit ton of great players. When he lost those guys, you're right. Shula, his GMing hurt his coaching. There's
first time you've ever said you're right.
Yeah. Well, you're rarely right. I mean, what do you want me to do? But no, seriously, let's have some fun here. This might be the best GM you've had since those early Shula days. This might be the best it is the best quarterback you've had since Marino. This is definitely the best offense you've had since Dolphins early 90s.
Okay.
Overall, this is the best pair of wide receivers you've had since Duper Clayton. Okay.
Wow.
And then the other thing that you've covered your entire life with the Dolphins, they always depended on the fucking defense because the offense couldn't score.
Can you say that word, young man?
Yeah. You couldn't score. You couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse on offense for 25 years. All of a sudden now, you've got an offense that can carry you at times too at the same time. It's weird, but this is the kind of team that Dolphin fans have not had in forever, Omar.
I don't know if I will agree with you on a lot of the things that you said. It's very hard to counter a lot of the things that you said. Right now, we're riding a high. You just
perfect with all the smoke in your room.
Listen,
I love it. That was good.
Right now, we're riding a high, and we like the fact that this is one of 9 franchises in the NFL with 5 or more wins, and we've got the number 1 rated quarterback in the NFL. We've got 2 players that are offensive weapons that clearly cannot be stopped by anybody in the league. Right now, they haven't figured it out. an offense that hasn't hit full stride, that should be hitting full stride. And understand, remember when I used to say this team won't hit full stride offensively till midseason?
Yeah, you said
I
that.
stand by that.
Especially the running game was what is going to make
Oh,
it go. And I think the Wilson addition will really
yeah.
help out.
I stand by that. Tua has not hit stride yet. The offensive line has played like shit. The running game has been a disaster.
Not in pass pro. They haven't played like shit in pass pro. Give them some credit, dude. Give them some credit.
Your QB got whacked twice.
Well, he got but QBs are going to get whacked, dude. Every once in a while, they're going to get whacked. But overall, compared to last year, Omar,
we're not comparing nothing to last year. We're not comparing nothing to last year.
That's a shitty line. But what I'm saying is, Teddy
that's like me saying you married a one. You married a one, and you're dating a 4 now. So she's a hot girl. No, she's still a 4, Big O. She's still a 4.
Bro, I'd take Brandon Shell over your boy Jesse Davis every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Wow, we really got to go there? Listen.
Well, yeah, because you're on, so I have to go there.
Listen.
The idea.
Brandon Shell, props, and thank you. Robert Jones, thank you. I started wondering like 2 weeks ago why he wasn't playing, considering how Liam has been playing. But here's where I don't feel comfortable with what you're saying about the GM. And understand, I'm neither a hater nor a supporter of Chris Greer. Yesterday seemed like an all-in approach. It came off a little desperate to me. Now, I say that with the awareness that Chris Greer fully believes in Tua and has no reason to doubt why he believes in Tua. You go and you build. I tweeted this out earlier, and I do stand by this and believe this. If you're talking to people who are in the NFL, they want 5 things when they're building a team: elite quarterback, Tua. Say whatever you want. I'm not ready and willing to say he's elite right now, but
I said he was elite last year, so it doesn't matter. He's elite. Of course, he's elite. Everything around him was crap. Now you give him the material. Okay, now he's elite.
Listen. Keep the patient. Keep the Tua bandwagon over there. He's ahead of schedule. He's answered.
We're not allowing your ass on it. You're not allowed on it.
I want the Tua fan base to understand exactly where I stand. He's ahead of schedule. He's showing you he's the efficient quarterback that I always thought he would be. If you give him a lead, he's going to win you the game. Now, is he a finished product? No. Does this offense fit him? Absolutely. But right now, he's the number 1 quarterback in the NFL. Number 1. He's got the it factor. And I've never doubted the it factor. We just got to keep him healthy, okay? Now, if you're building a team, you also want an anchor of an offensive lineman. That's Teron Armstead when he's healthy. You want a dangerous offensive weapon. That's Tyreek Hill, who is probably the most dangerous offensive weapon. And I said that before he started putting up ridiculous numbers. I said he's the number 1 receiver in the NFL. Bleep all what you want to say about Devontae Adams and all this kind of stuff. I've spent the last 5 years talking to executives and GMs who are saying, we need to find a Tyreek Hill. We need to find a Tyreek Hill. I've never heard one ever say they need to find a Devontae Adams. Now, you also have Waddle, who's having a phenomenal season. I said on your show that Waddle is not elite. He's proven that he's elite. Okay? You have a shutdown cornerback. He's not healthy. But as you want to, as people, I make this argument all the time. Show me a cornerback that shadows the NFL's best, the opponent's best receiver, no matter where he goes, minimizes the impact that he has, and does it with zero help. No help, no help whatsoever. He's out there naked 80% of the game. And tell me the guy that's doing it with the groin injury.
2.
And yes, two, if we're going to be realistic. And then the final thing that you want when you're building these teams is you want an elite pass rusher. Is that Chubb? I'm not sure I'm ready to say that it is, but I'm open to it. The analytics, which the analytics got you Chase Edmonds, the analytics tell you that, oh, this guy's elite. I don't see the numbers saying he's elite. And the film is all right. It ain't like, goddamn. It's all right. It's not goddamn. It's Jalen Phillips-esque. Now, put Jalen Phillips with him, maybe. So you have the 5 components you need to be a dangerous football team. I still have a little bit of a concern about depth, but hey, you're mid-season. You've survived these depth issues. The one thing I know you cannot afford is an injury at linebacker, unless you're gonna have Andrew Van Ginkel playing inside linebacker, which you might as well, because
I don't know if he's an inside backer.
Is Jerome Baker? Is Jerome Baker?
No. He's definitely not. No, well, actually, you're right.
I'm like
either or. Yeah, I get you. You're right.
Like you act like
yeah. No, you're right. You can't. You have to put Van Ginkel out of the 2 if you're going to put one inside.
No,
it cannot be Baker.
No. I'm just saying, if you do have an injury, that gives you some flexibility. Landon Roberts is Landon Roberts. You know what it is. And then Jerome is Jerome. And he's not having a good season. It is what it is. I think he needs to be blitzing more.
Yes.
But you know what it is. And right now, that's not even your top issue, because I think your safety spot, woo, that shit last week, that ain't gonna do against somebody that's not named the Lions. Right. That's not gonna do. McKinley, can't do it. Won't do it. You got to figure that out.
But Vernon is like, he's a baby. I mean, you can't expect.
I don't want. Bro, are you now not a contender in your mind?
Yes.
Didn't you just make moves as a contender?
Yeah. I think you got to be healthy, but yes, you're a contender if you're healthy.
You just made moves like a contender, and then you're going to put out filet mignon out there at free safety?
Well, I mean, you got what you got at this point. There's a shit ton of injuries.
There's
can't do anything about that.
There's tons you could do. I'm sorry. There's tons you could do. I'm calling.
Aren't they doing enough already? I mean,
I'm calling Eric Waddle.
In the second half, they did shut down and fix all their issues.
Bro, it's the Lions. Stop.
I know, but the Lions have been. Hold on a second. The Lions have been putting up points and yards on everybody.
Yes, but it's the Lions. Stop.
Okay. I get that, but they still adjusted in the second half, Omar. All the screw-ups from the first half, they went and adjusted with all those injuries and all those changes in the secondary, because as I guess you didn't know, but now you know, because you didn't think Brandon could cover, but he did end up starting to being a good cover guy. Now you can't replace Brandon Jones. He's a pain in the ass to replace because he's multifaceted.
I'm sorry.
You're overcoming that. You're overcoming your other corner that's been out all season long, plus the second, the third stringer have been out.
Okay. Let me ask you. Let's talk football now.
That's a lot of stuff to overcome, dude. You're not giving them any.
Every team's got that stuff. You don't think Cincinnati's got stuff to overcome right now? You don't think Minnesota had lost a tight end. They made a trade. Like,
right.
Your safety is not good. Your safety play is not good. Not that you don't have talent there, because it's
not. The safety play is not good only because Brandon Jones got injured, bro.
Okay, but you still have Eric Rowe. Figure it out. You're telling me
Eric Rowe's limited, bro. He can cover tight ends. He's not.
And McKinley is not.
Well, they must feel that he must have something that Rowe doesn't, because Rowe is not consistent against receivers and running backs. And I bet that's what they were concerned about. Plus, they may want that safety to have some blitzing skills. And that's something also that maybe they don't feel that Eric Rowe brings to the table.
I hear where you're coming from, and I totally support what you're saying. If that's your final answer a month from now, you're not winning shit.
Well, I wouldn't say that's not true. What about if some of these young guys that they do have start to develop and become good players? You never know that. Vernon
Okay.
McKinley, that was Veron McKinley. I'm sorry. This was his first game ever played. Maybe he starts to improve from here on
Oh,
out. I have no idea. See, the thing about Rowe is when you have all your pieces in place already, the two corners, the two safeties, then all of a sudden Rowe can come in and play his role. But
yeah.
now that things are juggled up a little bit and you've got two key spots that are missing, and now you've got different players, it requires different skill sets, and maybe they don't feel Rowe has those skill sets.
I hear where you're
Not
coming
just
from.
about covering a tight end now. They're going to ask you to do more, and maybe they don't feel Rowe's.
I hear where you're coming from, and I understand exactly what you're saying. I would rather Nick Needham go back there and play safety. It was not.
But he's out for the year. What are you going to do? He's done.
Bro, when
he's not there.
He's not coming back?
He's done. He blew out his knee.
Needham? I thought
Trill Williams is done. Needham is done, my brother. They've lost guys. They just lost Brandon Jones. They have lost 3 impossible people to replace, my man.
Hold on. Needham has an ACL?
Yeah, Needham's done for the year. He's over. Nick Needham, Brandon Jones, and Trill Williams are done for the year. Serious starters and depth for this team. Shit, 2 weeks ago they played without Kohu and Crossan.
Yeah, I get that.
And look, that's a nice little find with the Kohu kid. He looks like he's got some skills. That's why I'm not ready to give up on these guys. This is why I keep saying that what Greer's doing is amazing. Because look at Brandon Shell in the middle of the goddamn season. You go and find a guy that's better than Austin Jackson, bro. I wouldn't even give Austin Jackson his job back, to be quite honest.
There are guys like that out on the street. I'm telling you. There are guys like that out on the street that you can find, and it's not just Brandon Shell.
Well, the Cincinnati Bengals need to find him because their quarterback keeps taking a pounding, and they spent a lot of money in the offseason. So if it's that easy,
even Eric Flowers. Why is Eric Flowers working? Like, you telling me he can't be better than what you're seeing out there in the NFL? Like, I agree with you. Like, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm like, damn, is Eric Flowers under 350 pounds? Because Jesus Christ, their line is trash.
Their line is they're going to get that kid injured once again. That's what's going to end up happening here. He already missed 6 or 7 games with that knee injury. You're about to do it again to him because he also has that shit with Tua that he likes to hang on to the ball also. Now he's a bigger guy, but he already blew out his knee. I don't care how big you are, bro. This league will break your ass in half. You better get rid of the goddamn ball.
Unless you're Josh Allen, but then Cam Newton is the size of Josh Allen, and you see what happened to him after a while. It ages you like a back.
Yeah. So playoff team for sure now, huh? You're looking at the Dolphins as a playoff team for sure.
I looked at their next 4 stretch, and if they win 3 of the next 4, I mean that includes the Lions. Yeah, they're a playoff team. They're absolutely a playoff team. The fact that Tua still hasn't taken a loss yet, and he still hasn't really hit his stride. I don't think he's hit his stride yet. No, and I know. Nobody could tell me.
Wait till he gets a running game. Wait till you give that guy real play action. Okay, because they still run play action, but it ain't going to sell the same way like you would like if your play action was.
That's my biggest surprise about this season is like, how can the run game not be good? And and they can actually run, and you see holes like Connor Williams. Clap it up because man, I love watching him.
Yes, he can block.
His snapping ain't that great, but he mowing somebody down.
Yeah, he can block. There's no doubt he can block. He's a road grader. I'm with you there. All right, tell them about I Am Athlete. What are you guys working on so folks can check you out, my friends?
We are working on some new shows and new concepts. Right now, we're in the planning. We're in hiatus, so we're in the planning stages and just doing all the things that you do when you're building a media company. So,
okay, looking forward.
We have a live tour in Atlanta. That's December the 1st, and then we'll be shooting some episodes to begin season 4 in Atlanta. So that's where we're at.
Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch him every week.
What do you think about Greer? What do you think about what Greer said? We didn't even have a conversation about. Listen,
What'd he say? What?
How much you paying Bradley Chubb?
Oh, they're going to pay him like 20 mil a year. They already agreed on the parameters. They're just hammering out the details.
Yeah,
you know, that's already been agreed.
This got to get done, because if it don't make no sense.
No. I think the deal is pretty much done. It's just the stupid, technicalities that go with the contract, and they'll hammer it out. I think you'll hear about it in the next couple of days to a week. They'll get that thing hammered out. But I don't think they would have made this trade without the parameters being already agreed upon. And I think that that's what's going on right now. So that's all it is.
Let's hope.
You know what I mean?
Tag is $23.1 million.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to work the numbers. Then that's probably what they're doing over the next couple of days, figuring out their cap, what they want, and then how they can fudge the numbers so it can balance out. Because remember, in the next 2 years, or you now have to pay Brandon Jones, you have to pay your safety, you have to pay Tua, you have to pay Waddle, you have to pay Wilkins this offseason.
Wait. You're not accurate. That's not which safety I gotta pay.
Brandon Jones. And Brandon Jones gets paid next year. After he comes back from the knee injury, he'll play out that season. You'll probably either tag him for a year and then pay him is probably what you'll do. You'll have to pay your other safety in another year because he's a second rounder. Next year will be his third year, as you know, Omar.
No, you don't pay him in the third year. You pay him coming out of his third year.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of next season, you will pay him in his third year. At the end, in the summer, going into his fourth year, you will not let him go into the fourth year without a deal. It will not happen. That guy's too important to you, bro.
Christian Wilkins is the only priority
this year. Now, this year.
Yeah. Christian, I'm not worried about 2 years from now.
You're not a capologist and you're not a GM, but you do have to look at the landscape.
Capologist than you, sir. I am far greater of the capologist.
No. You don't think it exists. So for you, there is no.
It don't exist. It don't. It don't exist. That's why I don't think it exists. It is monopoly money.
I know that's why we just had Benjamin Albright on, who covers the Broncos and is very well connected. And it's like, well, they had cap issues, and that's why they also had to trade Bradley Chubb.
Listen, they traded Bradley Chubb because they weren't willing to franchise tag him at $23 million, and he probably wasn't willing to re-sign him.
That's because you have cap issues, because you don't have $23 million of hard cap space.
You can create $23 million.
You just paid your quarterback a world of money. Okay?
Yes,
that quarterback. And in 2 years, you will have to pay Tua. That in year 3,
you're acknowledging that we're not. Hold on, you're acknowledging that we're going to do the 5th-year option and probably a franchise tag.
No, not a 5th year, not a franchise tag. What I'm saying is it'll kick in after the 5th year. The new contract is probably what they'll do.
When does Tua get?
They'll give him a contract after the 4th year, right? They'll give him his new deal. And then maybe they extend it into the 5th year or some crap like that. It'll be a low number, and then it'll explode in the year 6. Is probably what they'll do.
So
like any other quarterback,
it becomes a $200 million quarterback after next season.
It's coming. It's coming. It's going to happen. If he continues at this pace, you have no choice. That's the going rate. So it is what it is. All right, Omar, appreciate you. Follow them on Twitter, by the way, folks, at Omar Kelly, and catch them every week here with our EssentialMovingExperts.com Miami Dolphins report. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
You got it. There you go. Omar Kelly.